Today I am interviewing Franson Rivers on his book, Unashamed. So he wrote a book called Unashamed, and it's about the life of Rahab. Tell us about it.
It mostly takes place at the city of Jericho and at the Israelites' camp, which is across the Jordan River. The story kind of goes back and forth between these two places.
Okay, so describe why these places are important to the story.
Well, the city of Jericho is where Rahab lives along with all the people, including her family. Rahab lives in her own house at the wall, which was provided by the king, and is able to see everything and everyone that comes in and out the gate. She was able to get her house though for this reason, because since she sees everyone and everything that passes in and out the gate, she would sometimes call them into her house and let them spend the night. By doing this, she was able to gain valuable information and then later report it to the king so he could know what was going in and outside of the city.
And what is the Israelites' camp like?
The Israelites' camp is across Jordan River and is where God's people, the Hebrews, have been waiting for 40 years to take over the city. They have been waiting this long though because when they were on the verge of claiming the promised land, the people lost their faith in God, and so God had to wait 40 years until a new generation who had faith in Him was ready to take over the city, and now that time has come.
Okay, so what is the conflict in this story?
The conflict has to deal with Rahab. Rahab realizes that the Israelites' God is very powerful, but it seems to be that she's the only one who sees this in the city. She wants to learn more about this God and join the Hebrew side because she knows that their God could easily take down the city, and she wants to be saved from it. Everyone else thinks though the city has these big huge walls that no one can ever take over the city.
So how or what helps Rahab over this conflict?
Okay, so we're going back to the camp. The leader of the camp is Joshua, and one day he decides to send two people out and go spy the city and report back to him. These people were Solomon and Ephraim. Okay, so after they crossed the Jordan River and they made it to the city, they were at the gate. They had to go in disguise though because someone could notice them and capture them at the gate. So as they're entering the gate, Rahab notices them and she sees they're looking oddly at everything, as if they were spies. So she decides to bring them into her home. They come in, but soon after, some guards show up at her door, and so she quickly decides to hide the spies on the roof. After the guards move on, she comes back, and the spies come back down, and they thank her for hiding them. Since Rahab hid the spies, she thought they should do something nice for her, and so that was her perfect time to say that she wanted them to save her from the destruction of the city. So they agree to save her, but they ask her how they will find her. So she hangs her red rope down on the window, which is what they use to get out without anyone seeing them. But they also say, look for the rope and you'll know that it is her house. The red rope in the story is like a symbol because it represents Rahab's salvation.
So what is the overall theme of the story?
The overall theme of the story is that physical salvation and the fear of God and bad people can do good things. And the other part is that God can use anyone to do anything.
So is there anything else you can tell us?
No, I think that's all. You'll just have to read the book yourself to find out what happens to the city and if the spies keep their promise to Rahab and her family.
Okay, thanks for the interview today. Make sure you check out his book, Unashamed.